They said they will complete some of the projects that are within the plannings of the new project. That's the route project. That's the project appraisal of the routes. If it is as the same as that of the NEMA that is incomplete, will be completed. Meaning, any other project that was implemented by NEMA that has a different project appraisal than the other one will not be completed. It doesn't make sense. I think the Minister of Finance has to be more proactive about agriculture. If we look at the level of their implementation, and because of that we don't want to put in resource in agriculture, it is the farmers that are going to suffer. Let's remember, the people that we represent are all farmers. Because of the level of the implementation of the ministry, if we did not give them enough resources, it is directly going to affect the farmers. Because to me, food insecurity is more serious than any other security threat, whether inside or outside your country. If you have food security in your house, I believe this is the time when you are secure. The Ministry of Local Government and Land, I saw him here before, but I think he has stepped out. Relating to the issue of Jara Soma, physical planning has demarcated a land and say it's going to be a reserve for industrial purposes, which I asked the minister last time, but I couldn't get an answer. I'm not denying government to have a reserve land, especially when it comes to industrial purposes. But already government has enough land in Mansakonko, more than 300 meters square, that any industrial, program can be done there. This land belongs to farmers. These are the places where they do their farming. If you identify it as a reserve, whether you compensate them or not, is going to affect them in the future. And I want the minister to look into that program. Instead of identifying a reserve within a place where people used to farm, let them go to where people are not using. Ministry of Environment also is here, and I think he has gone out. Graveyard for asbestos has been identified in my constituency between Jara Soma and Senoba. But the place is not protected. And the purpose of providing that place is to save people from contacting this asbestos. If the place is not secured, whatever they bury it there, people will come and take it out who does not know the risk. Last time, I said this as a question, but the problem is still there, it is not solved. Minister of Interior, Traffic and Traffic Police, they need to be applauded. They are doing a very good work in the country. Traffic police are almost standing on the road the whole day under the sun. I don't know what an incentive you have for them under your ministry. But Honorable Minister, sometimes I really, when I saw them, I become moved because I know they are doing what I cannot do. Standing under a hot sun, under the road sometimes up to very late in the day. Your ministry has to provide an incentive for them, and also, especially when it comes to their health, because what they are doing has a lot of risk. Finally, the petroleum minister is not here. Honorable Vice President, I would love you to extend this information to him, which I have been saying it here for so many times. There are electric poles that are erected in Jara West 30 years back. And these electric poles are now old. They are completely dilapidated. The concretes are getting out. Some of them, it's only the road that remains standing. And it's very risky. This is existing in 5 communities in Jara West, including Mansakonko, Soma, Kanikunda, Karantaba, Sankuya. In all these communities, there are poles, there are electric poles that has been there for over 40 years. Over 30 years. So they need to be changed. Anytime we come to rainy season, there will be a major incident caused by an electric pole. You see? So I would like the Honorable Vice President to extend this information.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Sine-die, yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. I want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Sine-die for bestowing the trust on me to represent them during these past 5 years. I also want to thank my colleagues, the staff of the National Assembly, and the media fraternity. Madam Speaker, let me first start with the horticultural women gardens in the Combos. Madam Speaker, we have 2 big horticultural gardens in Brufut, in Sukuta, Madiana, and Kerseri. Madam Speaker, if you look at these women, how they toil every day, early in the morning by 6 o'clock when I'm going for my Friday prayer, morning Fajr prayers, I meet many women in that early morning rushing to their gardens because they said if you don't go early, you will not have water. Water is always their problem in these gardens. And the other thing is, we need to create a market for these women. They toil hard for this, to harvest these vegetables. And when they harvest them, take them to Serekunda, sell them. When they are not sold, the next thing, they are going to throw them away. So their labor is going in vain. At least, I am appealing to the government for Sine-die in particular to have a preservation center whereby women, when they harvest their garden, they can go and keep them there if they are not bought. Madam Speaker, coming to security, we have a PRU camp in Burfoot taking care of the whole combos. I mean the police intervention unit. This unit only intervenes when the going gets tough. But it's unfortunate, I've been advocating for 2 years now. This PRU camp, they have no vehicle to do their job. The last time the incident happened at Tangi, before this unit reached, people lost their belongings. The same thing happened at Sanyang, to the extent that they even burned the police station in Sanyang. And another incident again happened at Burfoot. There they have to trek by foot from the camp to come. Before they reach, things will go out of hand. I am appealing to the ministry responsible, that's the Interior, to please make sure this unit at Burfoot, they have a special vehicle that they can patrol it. Because there was an incident, there was a time, 2 incidents of death happened at Burfoot. There is a forest between Madiana and Burfoot, in the midst of the village. I myself was a living witness of that. A dead body was thrown in the bush that ended up being composed. And the other one was a schoolgirl, was found in the bush dead. This is just because the PR unit, they don't have vehicles to patrol. So all sorts of incidents are happening in Burfoot. I am appealing to this ministry to please consider helping this police unit with a vehicle so that they can do their job correctly. And the other thing is the rate of accident in this country. Madam Speaker, almost every day, this road to Senegambia, you will find whether 1 vehicle or 2 vehicles. And this involves lives. We have to. It is poor. Because almost every night there is an accident on this Gambia road, where lives are concerned, properties. I think the ministry should thoroughly study exactly what is causing all these accidents, as lives are concerned. And the other thing is fire rescue. The whole of Combode, we have no fire rescue service. The last time, the forest at the Bard Reserve, a car was burnt there to ashes. Before the fire service reached the area, the car is gone. So at least, if we could have this fire rescue service in our area, at least, it will really help us. Because all along, you will all the time hear fire incidents, areas, houses burning, cars burning. Madam Speaker, the other thing is the skill centers. The whole of Combo, there is no skill center. Our youths will finish school and then be loitering in town. They end up drinking alcohol and stealing properties, smoking cannabis, because they are not responsible. There is no skill centers to help them. And if you look at this country today, in the Gambia here, these auto mechanics, carpentry workshops, welding workshops are all foreigners. And they are earning a lot out of it. How about our citizens? Why can't we motivate them? Build skills, something to do tomorrow, rather than ending up being loitering in this, smoking cannabis. Small boys, you see them breaking houses now. Small guy who break this house, you will not imagine it. Young boys, and they have a future. Let us try to do something for them. Tukuta, which is being helped by the diaspora, and they are building it gradually. But if the government can't put a helping hand so that the skills center would be beneficiary to the people of Sukuta and the satellite villages, at least some youths will learn skills that will help them tomorrow to avoid them being loitering in town and being criminals. Time. 2 accidents happened there. The vehicles came to hit two young boys. The other one was even flown to Dakar for treatment. And all what they wanted is for the NRA to build homes on the streets. But for 2 good years, I've been going in and out in NRA. Every time I go there, they say, yes, we will build it. Yes, we will build it. Still, where lives matters. It's yet to be considered. Madam Speaker, my last but not the least is about sports. When we say sports in the Gambia, we all reflect on football because it's the common sports we have in this country. But then we have a tournament here that we call zonal, where certain villages are involved. In that tournament is one of the most exciting tournaments in this country. 2 of my villages, Sukuta and Burfut, are involved in that tournament. But it's unfortunate. They have no good fields. Burfut would go and play their home match in Birkama. Can you imagine from Burfut to Birkama? They will go and play their home matches in Birkama. Sukuta will go and play their home matches at Serkunda East or Manjai. There's no fair play. I am urging the Minister of Youth and Sports at least to standardize one of these fields so that our people can also have their home matches nearby before going up to Birkama. Last but not the least, Madam Speaker, my colleagues have sent their sincere thanks to our veteran politicians who are no other than the member for Serekunda, the member for Willie West, member for Basse, and the minority leader, who were so sincere to us, guiding us towards achieving our goals. I hereby send my thanks to them. Madam Speaker, last but not the least, okay, I'm withdrawing the first one. I'm sending my prayers to the 2 members who couldn't conclude their term, 5 years term in Parliament due to the call of Allah. And they are in a waste. I pray the Almighty grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Birkama North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much, as my colleagues did, for sparing well the affairs of this assembly. Even though there were instances, I was very good in making observations to you. Sometimes my observations were positively taken into consideration, but sometimes I'll consider to be negative. But anyway, that was just the tactics of the care to control the debate. Having done so, I would like in the first place to put before this August Assembly a result, like my colleagues who contributed immensely to effect the change in 2016. I was given an option to take cabinet position or other very important position, or go back to my constituency, be voted in to represent, if I so wish. I was asked to think about it, and when I did so, I came to the conclusion it's better I take the people's offer than the direct appointment. And that advice was given by no other person but the President of the Republic, Adam Barrow. And I went to my people. I was lucky to be elected. And there I am representing them. Inasmuch as I want to thank my electorate, the people of Birkama North, I want to begin first thanking the President for giving me that advice. And the people of Birkama North across party line who voted for me, I want to thank you so much for the trust and confidence bestowed on me. Yes, the task was very great. It was not easy. I have the belief that this Fifth Assembly had made history, and I also contributed to the history. To the National Assembly, from the Speaker right down to the clerk and all the staff, I want to thank you so much for your support, technically, morally. To the media, for the wide coverage that you have been given to this fifth legislature, that I am part of it. Madam Speaker, I would not be doing justice if I to thank everybody, but I fail to thank the fraternity that I am so much fascinated to the sports. Anytime I bring about the sport issue here, I always get the support of the National Assembly. That's why I have this belief that this National Assembly contributed immensely to the success that our Scorpion had registered in the AFCON. I thank you for your contribution to make history for the Gambia to participate in the AFCON 2022 finals in Cameroon. And I want to thank the team, right down from the President of the Gambia Football Federation, the entire technical team, the coach, and the players, the captain for that matter, who retired from the national service recently. Indeed, Pamodu did a lot for the Gambia. He participated under 17. For the first time, the Gambia participated, and in fact, emerged victorious. In the under 20 also, he participated. The senior team, he captained the senior team to reach that far. Pamodu, thank you so much, and your team. Madam Speaker, in making my farewell statement, constituency that I've been addressing, that's still unanswered. Key among them, the Brikama firing range. The first vice president of this term, Madam Fatima Jallo Tambajang, was the phase that we took issue with, and we resolved to an agreement for the firing to be relocated. The President made a pronouncement at Brikama in 2018 that the firing will be relocated. Towards my questions, the minister also responded that the land has been identified for relocation of the firing link. That is more than 1 year now. The range has not been relocated. In fact, when I was making this cry, I was all along emphasizing that we need to do prevention rather than curing. Unfortunately, an incident that cost the life of a lady happened as a result of the firing range. I do not want a replica of this, and I want the Honorable Minister of Defense to take note and act urgently. The earlier you do so, the better to save life as well. Electricity and water is always an issue that I raise. The Minister of Energy is not here. We are very close, or we have the power plant in Brikama North, but many communities in the area are without electricity supply. I said we should be compensated, at least for the noise that our people always have. Water supply is a problem as well, very erratic. A big community like Chembuje, at a point I requested for borehole. We were told that Chembuje is not qualified because it's Nawek. We can't have Nawek water, and we cannot also get the borehole from water resources. Nawek should look into that. Brikama drainage, we have highways or roads that are constructed, but that ended creating havoc to the people. During rainy season, flood all over because there is no drainage system. The Ministry of Works promised that they will look into it. In fact, we conducted survey all around Brikama. That was 4 years ago. Then up to now, nothing is done about that. The fish market. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries is not here. I've been raising this issue about the condition of the Brikama fish market. The minister promised me in 2020, that was somewhere around June, that before December, something will be done at Brikama fish market. Up to now, 2022, nothing is done. The fish market is as dirty as anything that you can think of. You never think that human being can sit at that place and sell fish that people supposed to eat that. Honorable Minister is not here. I wish he is here so that he can tell me exactly what is wrong. Still, December cannot come. The road network, like other colleagues have been talking about the road network all over, and I've been raising this road network. The key among them, the Brikama Bafloto Mandira Ring road, it was part of the supplementary appropriation bill. The road is not constructed, even the foundation stone is not laid. Other people are thanking or congratulating the government that their road have started or their road have been constructed. What is wrong with that of Brikama, that is the Brikama Bafloto Mandinan area. I also called for the link roads in that main road, Makumbaya, Galoya, Kubune, Kunkuyan Ketaya, Mandinaring. Likewise, Bafloto, Farato, Bojang, Kunda, and then Bafloto, Nemasu to Farato. These link roads to this main road will help a lot to ease communication in those areas. Brikama Kasakunda Nyonfele Gunju Road was also part of the supplementary appropriation bill, where yet still no work has started in the area. We also call for the link roads in that main road, Nyonfele Bonsa to Taibat Road. Brikama is the headquarters of West Coast. The roads that are taxi service roads, I've been calling for those roads to be constructed. Brikama, the Kababajo Road, linking Newtown to Misra up to the Bafloto Highway. Jaliba Kuyate Highway, that is at Nyambai College, where the Vice President has a residence, and then the Nyambai, Babagalde Main Road, Misra Main Road, Daru Highway Main Road, Jamisa Main Road, Jalamba Main Road, Chambuje, Sabukunda, linking to the Buffalo Road. When these roads are addressed, the movement of vehicles around Brikama, just like a regional capital, will be eased. Madam Speaker, the high cost of living is a talk of town. Somebody said the government should explain. I don't think there should be an explanation in this. What we should be doing is that, or what the government is to be doing is to address the situation. Things cannot go like this. Every day prices are increasing. Something is wrong somewhere. You go to a shop this evening, this next morning, you'll find the price to be increased. I think there should be a control. We are not saying that there should be price control, but the way things are going, I think people are doing things deliberately. As a government, we cannot continue to entertain those kind of things. Madam Speaker, I just spoke to the minister about the land that was occupied by the Bikawa power plant. I did pass a parliamentary question here for the compensation to be done to the owners, but the first minister of lands did tell me that they cannot do the compensation. Okay, I also asked whether the part of the land that is not occupied can be returned to their owners. He said they are going to look into it. When the next minister comes, that's Honorable Drame, he promised that part of the OMVG project, they will consider compensating. I'm happy that during our discussion and engagement, he invited me in his office to act on that, so that the land that is not occupied can be returned to their owners. I will thank him for that. Madam Speaker, the economic MFDC class prompted the government to set a task force to investigate into the matter. Like my colleagues mentioned, commissions have been set, task force has been set, inquiries have been conducted, but after all, we will not see anything. I want the Honorable Minister or the Vice President to inform us about the state of the task force. When will the task force complete its findings and the report to the to the President, of course to the National Assembly? I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Nominated Member, Sir Musa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor, also to lend my support. Madam Speaker, today is a day that is counted in the history, as it is the end of the 5-year term in the National Assembly. It's the last session. Madam Speaker, in my current field, I'm delighted today that witnessing the end of these 5 years, Madam Speaker, so delighted to see myself witnessing the end of these 5 years. Madam Speaker, these 5 years came into being through a transitional government, of which I happen to be part of the architects and engineers. That's Coalition 2016. Madam Speaker, not only me in this August House, I'm laying the foundation. Myself, Right Honorable Member of Serekunda, Honorable Khalifa Sallah, a senior parliamentarian, veteran politician, Honorable Sidia Jata, member for Woodley West. The minority leader is here, Honorable Member for Nyamena Dankunku, Honorable Samba Jallo. Usman, the member for Banjul North, Right Honorable Usman Silla, member for Banjul North, and Right Honorable Suhaib Toure, member for Woodley East. But all, Madam Speaker, here is the Vice President. Our Vice President, Madam Aissatou Toure, who is also a part, is a candidate. We are going for the 16. Madam Speaker, these are people among those who sacrificed at that time to face the challenge. So therefore, I cannot exhaust my deliberation without mentioning these people in this August House, as today is the last session of the 5 years. Madam Speaker, having said that, I must again, first of all, thank His Excellency, the President, Adama Barrow, whom you know is not an ungrateful person. Whoever shared the coalition members among, he has given everybody his quota. Madam Speaker, very grateful. He is not ungrateful, very grateful. Each and every member of the coalition 2016, he has given you, you either take it or you okay. But you will not say he has never made any attempt to open. So I must thank him. I was appointed here. He offered me as a state minister. But with my honesty myself, I cannot take it. I cannot carry the job. I know the area where I can occupy. And then today, when he offered me the position of a parliamentary, I said, that's my place. So he's very grateful. And Madam Speaker, thank God Gambians have him. During senior parliamentarian in this August House other than me, for that I will say God-giving, whether one like it or not. I witnessed the First Republic in the National Assembly. I have seen, I'm the ref. You are the ref, Madam Speaker, but today I'm the chief ref in this August House, who can compare and contrast. All the 3 decades, there's nobody also here who can challenge me on that. I have seen, I have been a fighter until I went to Parliament, not under incumbent. In the First Republic, a ruling party of 32 years, I went to Parliament without a degree, as people like to boast. This man is not educated, the degree holder. No! It is the people who are to determine who will represent them. That's why all the time we are crying for language, because one day we'll even have a president who has not been to school. But the brain is that you know how to handle people. You can be a PhD, you cannot even handle a chicken. So, Madam Speaker, I have seen the First Republic. I have seen the Second Republic. I have seen the Third Republic. What I witnessed in the First Republic, through my participation, that's why the change of government came in 1994 when I was in Parliament. Then I used to see the ambassador, American ambassador, British ambassador, and EU representatives, and all other diplomats in those days. But through the revelation of the opposition in the assembly, that is why we have a very peaceful coup d'etat, bloodless coup d'etat. I know what happened, and I know my contribution to that. And I know the First Republic, what they have done. I have been a victim, losing my job. 9 years, 9 months, I was dismissed without no cause. Simply because I was accused I am a sympathizer to a political party. I have seen all this, I know. So nobody can tell me anything. And even during the ADJOURNMENT Commission, my file was called from this August after the ADJOURNMENT Commission. Everybody in this country at that time knows what who Majango Samusa is. So today, I have seen the Second Republic. I serve here, nominated by the former President Yahya Jammeh, nominated me. Again, appoint me here. Also, I serve in his government as a deputy governor in the region. Then you have NCP and APRC alliance we are going through. So I witnessed again, in the Third Republic, I happened to participate in the coalition 2016 until today. I'm here. I'm here by my merit. Madam Speaker, with the cooperation of the leader, who is not only grateful, that's President Adama Barrow. Not only grateful. That's why the day before Saturday, I was listening to him at Basse. He was telling the people of Basse constituency concerning about Magasi. He knows what Magasi is to him. He said, I will not be the same height with you, and then the next answer you become taller than me in Mandinga. He said, I said, here is the man. The man is still there. He has not moved. He still continues. That's why God is always behind him, guiding him. He always breaks the record. I have been fighting with my party in the First Republic for almost 20 years. And in the Second Republic, the transition, God has picked him and asked him to bring him to lead us. And he is very grateful to the Almighty. He's very mindful, very careful, humble. I have seen leaders. I have witnessed what has been transferred in the First Republic. In my constituency, in Kerewan, there's a 2 black stone generator lying down there for over 5, 6, almost 10 years, until the time I came to Parliament. I fought that. The EU ambassador was sitting behind me. I made that revelation. The following 2 weeks, I went with the managing director to Kerewan to put the light on. When His Excellency, the late President, stood in my village, he said, unless and until you come to my political party, join PPP to have this seat, you will not have this light, you will not have this message will not come up. So that's why when people are saying here and there, I have seen a lot. I have witnessed a lot, different all these governments. I have witnessed all those things. Each government, I can write a book. I never traveled. It was first time to go with the President Jammeh to AU in Addis. I said, I have never boarded a plane. He could not believe You can ask the chief of protocol and the green youths who were on board. Like he said, Madam Kosamusa of Gambia, you have to say no. All what I achieved is here in this country. So nobody can tell me anything. So, Madam Speaker, I repeat again, I must still continue to thank His Excellency the President for the way and manner he has handled during these 45 years the democracy. We were crying all along. For 22 years, the people are crying for democracy. And now we all know, I have witnessed the parliament for a second. This is the parliament that, since 1960s, since we came to independence, there has never been a parliament like this. That's why when some people are laughing, they just shout, hey, rubber stamp parliament, rubber stamp. I was in the Fourth Republic. Those who in favor, yes. Those not in favor, you have only one or two. You call that a democracy? Because they are the majority, they are shouting, they are democracy, democracy. We know all what has been transferred. What President Adama Barrow has accepted as far as democracy is concerned. Gambia would have, what Honorable Sida Jata is saying, Gambia would have been somewhere today. Gambia would have been somewhere today. So, even if time is up and I can sit down, at least I have said something. I've said something that even that alone is enough. And we have seen it here. So, man, I don't want to go into a lot of things, but all what I'm saying, to tell the Gambian people, this parliament, there's never been a parliament like this. I was in the First Republic. I know how I've been molested inside there, because they are the majority. It has never been a new thing here. I marched out from Parliament in the First Republic, myself and my leader. So when I was asked to go out from
the time is up. Your time is up. Time is up. Thank you. Honorable Member for Foni. I'm sorry, your time is up, please. Yes, Foni Bondali. No, I will not inform you because the time is there. I don't inform anybody. Honorable Member for Foni Bondali, please. Honorable Nominated Member Jaite, please.
Number of minutes. Why don't you inform me?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm sure not going to miss this part of it. My mic is gone. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I couldn't miss the opportunity today to say that. Thank you for giving me the floor. This may be my last time to say it, hopefully not, but I've not been feeling well this whole session. But today I had to force myself to come because I couldn't miss this opportunity to say the thank yous. So I guess today, for the first time, I'm going to give the honorable ministers a break and also going to give President Barrow a break and focus on the thank yous, because I think it has been a great opportunity serving my country in this capacity. I think my journey has been the most interesting one in the Parliament, all of you would agree. And I would say I've grown to be the darling of the National Assembly. I'll give myself that credit, because of a lot of things that have happened in between and have contributed to my growth as a person. And I appreciate the opportunity. The first thank yous will go to my parents. I think my parents are kind of unique in the way that I would say maybe I'm the only young politician that have parents threatening to, move me out of their house if I leave politics. It's interesting. Other parents will tell you, don't join politics. This is not good, you're going to risk everything. But mine, both of them encouraged me to stay on and fight. And I appreciate them for allowing me to be who I am. I remember when we lost the elections, the presidential elections, I was so down. And I was having this conversation with my father, and I told him, I think I have to give up, because this has been, I've given my all, and I just feel rejected and disappointed. And I don't think I can win this. And he told me, Kumba, I said yes. He said, you might never win this fight, because I think you've already won. I said, why would you say that? And he said to me, because you are on the right side. You are, and sometimes being on the fight, never fighting, and you have just started. And for those inspiring words. Still on the thank yous. This brings me back to my journey and what inspired me to be here today. And this was, in all honesty, the death of Solo Sunday. And I will never forget how angry I felt when I heard that Solo was murdered. And this was my inspiration to fight. Basically, that's how the story started. And after the 2016 elections, I remember parliamentary came, and it came from the community itself, the people of Dipakunda, that approached me first and said, we want you to run for parliament. And I remember submitting my applications, and I went for primaries for the UDP. And I guess because I was a young 28-year-old, the people that were doing the interviews and stuff really maybe didn't take me seriously, because we all know what women face during these kind of struggle. And Madi was chosen, Honorable Madi Cisse, for the seat, and he won. And then, all of a sudden, and this was so unexpected, my journey with President Barrow began. I remember sitting in my office day before the new MPs were sworn in, and the president himself called me. This was a surprise, and nominated me as a member of the National Assembly. I remember on the day, it was around 11 o'clock that I received my package from the Vice President's residency. So it was so late, so I couldn't even believe it. So I think after everything that has happened, I think today is the day I should tell the President thank you for taking the chance on me. And I think he too owes me a thank you, but before I get there, I want to thank on our behalf, my behalf, and his behalf, the leadership of the United Democratic Party for having the faith in all of us, because the President knows it wasn't this executive that believed him and put him put him up as a candidate. It was then the executive of the United Democratic Party. And because that happened, he happened, and I happened. So a huge thank you goes to the United Democratic Party, to Solo Sandeng and all the heroes who've lost their lives in fight for country, because all they had was the love for country and they gave their all. I appreciate you and I thank you. To President Adama Barrow, thank you for giving me this opportunity of representing my country and representing the youths of this country. And also thank you for doing the most amazing thing anyone has ever done for me, and that is firing me. I think that was the most amazing thing that has happened in this journey, and it gave me an opportunity as a person to contribute towards the governance structure of this country, towards molding our newfound independence, towards assuring the people of the Gambia about the independence of the judiciary. And I think I am thanking him, but he owes me the thank you for putting him back on the line to make sure we safeguard the democracy that people lost their lives for, that all of us fought so hard for. Thank you very much. We have a veteran that has declared that he's not coming back to this house. Honorable Member of Serekunda, Thank you. It has been an inspiration working with you. And I know sometimes we bump heads, but all the time I push, because I'm learning from you, and this is the opportunity. I think if I knew you were not going to come back, so I took the opportunity. Thank you for serving your nation in the greatest humility. We appreciate you. To my favorite MP, the honorable member of Woolly West, I adore you, I love your heart, and I appreciate your support throughout this journey for keeping me grounded. Honorable Speaker, it has been a pleasure to witness your leadership. It's very hard, particularly when you're female and you're actually the umpire of a great number of males. It's not easy. And I know also I've been a very challenging MP for you and your staff, but it was for the interest of nation, for pushing you forward. You know, Halifa is laughing. He once told me, I found you very challenging in my journey, and I appreciate that. To my favorite person and my favorite people in this parliament, and that is the staff. From the drivers to the secretariat, to the cleaners, everyone has showed me love throughout this entire journey, and I appreciate you. To my very special person, Fatu, who would even cry when I'm in the middle of the fight. I'll go down and find her crying, and she would tell me, Kumba, please come down, yo halenga. I'll be like, stop crying, you don't need to cry. We're all doing this for the best interest of the country, and I love you. Thank you for the support, for the pushing me throughout this whole journey. To one thing that was really one of the reasons why I was honored to be nominated, and that is to have the opportunity to contribute towards giving Gambia a new governance structure, towards molding a newfound democracy, and looking forward for us as a fifth legislature to give Gambia a new constitution, which is going to be the foundation of the new governance structure. I call this our unachieved legacy. It is a missed opportunity, and I hope the sixth legislature will fight to bring this constitution back to give us a proper start of our governance structure. The speaker earlier on has highlighted all our achievements. I wouldn't go back to that, but just a piece of advice to this new executive. I don't think sometimes we take time to reflect on how serious our role is, both as parliamentarians and as ministers. For example, I remember I was having this conversation. I said, I don't want to ever be the Minister of Health in this country, because everyone that dies, God is going to question you one day about it. I think it's a very serious role, and as civil servants, as public servants, it's an honor to be it. But I think we sometimes need to reflect on how important the roles we are playing are and taking it more seriously. I am so concerned about the health sector of this country. I remember my auntie on her dying bed, they couldn't even find a proper bed for her. The bed was broken, and she had to be laid, and that's the bed she died on. And I remember my mom telling me, do you know what her last words were? I said, no, and she told the nurses, you're putting me on this kind of bed, hana hamulone man suma jarbat dipite la. That I will never forget, because it showed me the responsibility we all have towards our people. And I think each and every one of us, from the president down, we really need to start reflecting and taking our roles very, very seriously. Because apart from this life, the next life, each and every one of us is going to be questions about what we have done when we were giving these votes. And I think it's so important that we all reflect, putting everything aside. I think I still have another 4 minutes. To the president of this country, I think I would advise you to let the opposition thrive. I think as opposition, it is even more important, now more than ever, for us to continue our role of holding the executive accountable. We owe that to our people. I personally am not giving up on this tax. I will keep on fighting with everything that is in me to make sure we hold the government accountable, and I think the president should create that environment and allow the opposition to thrive. I'm hearing issues about reconciliation. I think we can reconcile and have peace, but still, there needs to be a vibrant opposition in this country, and I will be part of those that will keep that alive. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable member for Bondali is still not around, Kantora. And if she's not here, then we'll just have to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you so much. It's been a long day since the beginning of the adjournment debate. First of all, I want to congratulate ourselves. It's been a long, long, long way since we started this journey. Here we are in these hallowed chambers, which marks the end of the 5th legislative session. Probably, if need be, would have been or would be an emergency session when it's deemed fit by government or by executive. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I want to begin my contribution giving thanks to Almighty Allah for keeping me fit and sound and healthy to embark on a journey entrusted on me by the people of Kantora constituency, to represent them, to be their mouthpiece, to advocate and contribute immensely to resource distribution in budget allocation. I think for the past 5 years I've done that. I did the job to the best of my ability, and I've represented the constituency to the best of my ability. I say to them, thank you so much for picking me out of the lot, which is not a birthright, but it is out of privilege to bestow trust and confidence in me that if you are elected or if you are chosen by them, you will serve the purpose. I will say a big thank you to the electorate of Kantora constituency. Secondly, allow me to thank my parents and family and loved ones for standing by me resolute throughout the journey. As a young parliamentarian, it's not easy. There are difficult moments and there are also challenging times, but you need their guidance and counseling. So the parents, loved ones, and families, thank you so much for being with me. I also equally want to thank sincerely your leadership, the entire staff of the National Assembly, the clerk, the various office holders in this assembly for making our job easier for us to deliver as expected. Having said that, I also want to thank the government of the day for nurturing newly found democracy since 2017 to date. It's a very difficult task after inheriting a fragile nation, serve under 22 years of bad leadership, to reconcile those people and also govern their affairs for the past 5 years is a difficult one. We thank the leadership the President, the Cabinet Ministers, for working hand in glove to ensure the newly found democracy is nurtured, to ensure the newly found democracy is consolidated by their concerted efforts. I also want to thank them for really transforming the lives of my people. Because I know as government, the primary responsibility of every government is to transform the lives of people you govern. How do you protect their lives and property is responsibility that you cannot shy from. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow and my leadership in Parliament here, as far as representing Kantura constituency is concerned, we have really experienced enormous development projects that are life-changing opportunity for the people of Kantura constituency, ranging from good roads, ranging from supply of ambulances, ranging from electricity, and clean solar energy in the for the community of Nyam. Huge that is put up there or established there through a PPP, private-public partnership, under the watch of His Excellency. I bring you greetings and thanks from the people for really focusing on how to decentralize development. Gone are the days whereby development was centered in the urban area. But through the transformative agenda, through the transformative idea of the leadership of His Excellency, development has now been decentralized in the rural areas now. The colleges, the bridges, the schools, the hospitals, women vegetable garden, these are really life-changing opportunity for the people of my constituency. I wouldn't be very much fair if I didn't appreciate the good job we've achieved under this current government. Having said that, I also want to thank your leadership in this parliament here as Speaker and the leadership of both sides, minority and majority leader, for coming together. More so, for the executive taking a giant stride to give Parliament its autonomy. This is never easy in any jurisdiction. It's called for a battle. It's called for fight to make sure autonomy is given to Parliament. But as a leader, if you believe in democracy, you will also accept its principles that is accompanied with democracy. And it's through those visions, through that leadership, this autonomy is attained under the 5th legislation. CEO Dahab & Co. for an urgent intervention by government this autonomy is attained under the 5th legislation. CEO Dahab & Co. for an urgent intervention by government
Star GSM has new arrivals of home appliances, stand fans, blenders, original flat screens from 32 inches to 65 inches. At Star GSM, their appliances are original, durable, modern, and energy saving. Star GSM also have sports shoes, Timberland, and Scandals, original perfumes from India, Churai and Andy Churai from Dubai. Star GSM offer its customers 25% discount on all smartphones, simple phones and HD receivers for national security forces, police, paramilitary, immigration, armed forces, customs, navy, etc. They also have maize powder, Dugula, $1,200 per bag or $100 per kilo. Rush now and visit Star GSM at Westfield, opposite OJ Junction, Talindi Market, Tabokoto Traffic Light, or call 700-2494. Star GSM Electronics.
Trade fair 15th edition. This time trade fair bi falla ak fuñ ko defee. Trade fair bi ñu ko def fële ca Town Table. Su nekkee yaa ngi jógee Town Table balaa ngaa àgga Bursu bi police station bi. Su nekkee yaa ngi jógee Sukuta balaa ngaa àgga Town Table bi. Trade fair bi nag ñu ngi ànd ak ñan ñii di Inco soo leen fa duggee rek di ngeen gis place Inco bi te soo leen duggee si place Inco bi bépp bagage boo leen jënda am nañ 10% discount. Trade fair bi nag mu ngi door on the 26th of February ba on the 28th of March. 26th of February, the 28th of March. Trade fair at Inco 2022. Trade fair bi mom narna neede.
Inco, your official partners of the 15th edition of Trade Fair Gambia International.
Tobacco Control Act 2016 came into force in December 2018. Section 9 of the Act gives every person the right to a tobacco smoke-free environment, and a person consuming a tobacco product shall ensure that he or she does not expose another person to tobacco smoke. The Tobacco Control Act 2016 prohibits smoking, including the use of shisha in public places, workplaces, and public transports. A person shall not smoke in any part of any public place, workplace, or public transport and within 100 meters of such place. These places include hotels, restaurants, bars, office buildings, schools, garages, prisons, police cells, video clubs, and public service vehicles, among others. Any person responsible for a public place, workplace, or public transport shall ensure
Some of us has grown to big boys now, while others are also grown, Asian now. Some has also grown gray hair. But to be honest with you, it's really a tasking job. And what an experience as well we've really got in this parliament. But kudos goes to the electorate. Sincere thanks and gratitude goes to the electorate for entrusting us to represent them in parliament. However, a big thank you goes to the current government. It's not easy, as I told you, to maintain democracy in a fragile state. It's been an enormous task for them to make sure that newly found democracy is nurtured, newly found democracy is grown from strength to strength. It only takes a vibrant leadership. It takes a leadership that sees nation before self to make sure everybody is carried along. So on that note, I thank you so much for your indulgence. Equally, I thank the cabinet ministers for the vice president.
Thank you very much, honorable members. In everything I do, especially discharging my duties according to the best of my conscience, I try to make sure that I exercise my discretion judiciously. And I had on my list the honorable member for Funi Bondali and Jara Central. But up till now, they are not here, and they definitely cannot hold the assembly to ransom. It's getting late, so we have to proceed. And that's the only reason why I am closing my list, because they are not here. And I thank you all for your sentiments and for the statements that you have made and the concerns that you have raised with regards to issues in your various constituencies. And I sincerely hope that they will eventually be addressed, those of them that have not been addressed. And on that note now, may I call on Her Excellency, the Vice President, and honorable ministers here present who may wish to reply to issues raised regarding their portfolios. So I'm not sure whether, Your Excellency, you may. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, Honorable National Assembly members, Honorable Ministers, government, private individuals, the media fraternity, administration of the Speaker, with all other protocols respectfully observed, I want to take this opportunity to appreciate, to reflect on matters of the National Assembly. Congratulate all of you on behalf of His Excellency President Adama Barrow. All of you coming from different parties, all of you coming from different philosophical backgrounds, all of you who have interest in one way or the other, as Gambians and those living in the Gambia who are interested in seeing the Gambia move forward, I want to thank all of you for being here today and to thank the Lord Almighty who has given us the chance, the opportunity to be able to go through many years to finally come today to sit down and reflect about our country. I have heard a lot and we have noted, and I want to appreciate you on behalf of the executive. Some of them are here today, some are out unavoidably because of exigency of services. They are not being here is not to disrespect this house, but because it coincided with very unavoidable circumstances. That is why they are not here, but they are well represented. First and foremost, I just want to say, I want to express my appreciation to the Speaker of the National Assembly, my dear sister, friend, and a colleague, working together for many years. We want to say thank you very much for the exemplary leadership you have taken to move this National Assembly forward. A time that was full of doubts, a time that people did not have the opportunity of feeling that we would make it, a time that there were mixed feelings, a time where there were many uncertainties. And here we are today, You have done your job exemplarily. I have been here many times, and I respect your leadership, your experience, and your professionalism and resilience in conducting the affairs of this. I want to thank you on behalf of His Excellency and the entire executive of this government. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank all the members of the National Assembly, irrespective of where you are, and I have heard you talk, and it gives me hope. It gives us hope that we can do where and it gives me hope. It gives us hope that we can do it, we have done it, and we are. Those that have engaged and the critical questions that were asked, for the opportunities that I have, and we are. Those that have, it gives us hope that we can do it, we have done it, and we are. Those that have engaged and the critical questions that were asked, for the opportunities that I have, I am impressed, and it gives me hope every day that this happens. There are challenges indeed which you have already outlined. It's normal. One, we have to celebrate the success. And I think there are more successes than failures, because bringing in 53 bills and deliberating on certain projects that are already being that is being visibilized everywhere, as you explain and as you talk, there will be some challenges, and I want to say that that is the real issue of development. Why do we call it development if there were no challenges? Why do we come in as a National Assembly? Why do we the opportunity I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z? These are all because human exists, our abilities. But what is going to sum out our abilities? No one government can finish it, and you have also explained, you have already exemplified that. For the successes that you have mentioned, we did it together under the leadership of His Excellency Adama Barrow, and under your tenureship. This is where these successes came. Recognize is that whatever we may do, if the enabling environment is not there, it's useless. Experience as a country, the past, that we can relate to. We have experiences. So without a leadership that believes in the will, the power, and the agency of people, it will never happen. And that is who President Barrow has brought in democracy with all of you. He has nurtured, he has tried his level best to nurture it with you. He has allowed the different arms of government to be independent as much as possible. We are on a journey. The issues you have raised are quite clearly appreciated, and we know they are real. They do occur, and we are aware of them. There are certain issues you have raised that have already been completed, but there are others that are processes. And one thing that we have to understand in development is that when you are in a democracy, you have to follow the rules. It's a rules-based relationship. You have to follow procedures. You have to respect the institutions as you are emphasizing, and this is something I think that has been clearly articulated by most of you about how this government, for you to gain your independence, your autonomy, and working towards building your systems to be strong. And I believe you can see that this government has agreed on that, and we love it because this is what all of us have been fighting for, and it is going to continue. It's going to be one thing, let's do this and it happens. It's a process and a procedure. All the policies that come here, appropriation bills and all these things that there were times when this did not happen. It was democracy that is allowing people evolving, we are learning, and we must not lose hope. The will is there because His Excellency is opening a democracy that we, our size is but what we can deliver, and the whole world is us. And we are trying to build up that. That is the stage where we are, and we will always be together. Some of you may not come back again. This is what it is all about. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate one of the greatest veterans of the National Assembly, who is by the name of my brother, Honorable Halifa Sallah. Despite the fact that he belongs to a political party, what I saw of him when I came to the National Assembly is objectivity, engagement, commitment to the country and to the Gambia, and trying as much as possible to look at things objectively. I want to take this opportunity to thank you. To thank you on our behalf, on behalf of the executive, and on behalf of His Excellency, and on my personal behalf, the true son. A great work, and here today, you didn't give these people anything to say what they are saying about you. It's because you lived it, you acted it, and you're doing it. So that should be a big pride. It is a legacy that you have, and people will live. You will not wait for you to die. People will show you. I want to thank you, and the Gambian people want to thank you, and to tell you and appeal, just like all other Gambians are saying, that we will not leave you. We will look at you, we will work with you, and don't hesitate to engage when people come to you. You are now at that stage, and we need you more for all the work that you have done, and we want to appreciate that. To the National Assembly members, you are going to, some of you who are going to come back, I think we will get the institutional memory. We appreciate all the work that you have done. Those who are not coming back, it's not because you failed. This is what life is all about, and it's the people out there who are going to decide who is going to be who for their constituencies. And you, I believe that you have represented them very well. The issues you raised today is what I want to come into, is that you have the right to raise those issues. You cannot complete it. This is why you started the journey. The transformation that is going on cannot be finished. Transformation is a continuous process. And even His Excellency President Barrow cannot finish it during his time. We need to engage people who know what they are doing in the institutions, create independence of the institutions. The leadership has shown the commitment to respect democracy, to promote good governance. He has achieved a lot, not because of him alone, he has done it with all of you. So I want us to continue on that spirit. Democracy is in the making, and we will make sure that democracy takes its right courses. You have done very well. We have been taking a lot of notes. I wrote more than 30 pages. Head of government. It's not easy. Remember, the type of inheritance we had, and the amount of money of us, the amount of fee happen and inherited. So it's not blaming any had coalition government, bringing in all story, because people were all focusing on, we want a change, we want a better life. Together. So that transformative process that is going on, if we want to, we cannot force people. We need to educate the people. We need to uplift them. We need to give them courage. We need to let them feel that these changes are real, that the change is going to occur not by coercive means, but it's going to occur by being empowered to understand that this change has to happen so that we maintain it, we sustain it. And this is the trajectory that His Excellency is taking.
Trade fair 15th edition. This time trade fair bi falla ak fuñ ko defee. Trade fair bi ñu ko def fële ca Town Table. Su nekkee yaa ngi jógee Town Table balaa ngaa àgga Bursu bi police station bi. Su nekkee yaa ngi jógee Sukuta balaa ngaa àgga Town Table bi. Trade fair bi nag ñu ngi ànd ak ñan ñii di Inco soo leen fa duggee rek di ngeen gis place Inco bi te soo leen duggee si place Inco bi bépp bagage boo leen jënda am nañ 10% discount. Trade fair bi nag mu ngi door on the 26th of February ba on the 28th of March. 26th of February, the 28th of March. Trade fair at Inco 2022. Trade fair bi mom narna neede.
Inco, your official partners of the 15th edition of Trade Fair Gambia International.
So it's not, we are not at war. What we are trying to do is to protect this change and to nurture democracy. It's not easy to nurture democracy because there are different shapes of democracy depending on the type of leadership that you have. But the type of leader we have now, and what we are seeing with him, honestly, if we know how to move about, see the country first, the ministers, they will also have time. We are going to go back to the but as we said, it's not easy. We need the resources. But you see the breakthrough that has been made in raising funds to fund our own locally driven projects. The Ministry of Finance has done extremely well. The GRA, the Ministry of Works, the infrastructure. You go to the Ministry of Health, and the type where I happen to be there, so I am a witness. The Lord, the day I was removed from the health because of what qualified doctor, experienced, committed. What if we follow it? We are the lifeblood of the poor farmers. We're talking about food security. You have those things. A lot to raise the fund.